Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Caregiver and Spoonie podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Banderas. And just a quick reminder, as always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes of the podcast. And once again, thank you for all the emails, all the support that we've been receiving. We're so grateful and thankful for that. So let's get into today's episode. So on today's episode, I want to touch this subject, and I want to start with a question: are you happy? Now, the reason why I'm asking this particular question is because, are you really happy? A lot of people, especially right now with everything that's going on, we're not happy. This happened to me a long time ago. Like, I had to ask myself that question as to if I was happy or not. And I was happy, but I was also upset, angry, and everything. So I had to go through a whole different process to change my mind so I could be happy. Because happiness is not going to happen just because. We have to create our own happiness. And the way that we do that, it doesn't matter if you're a caregiver, Spoonie, or wherever you're going to, you can still be happy. Everything depends on how you see the situations and how you react to the situations. If you react in a angry way, you're not gonna be happy. If you react in a very emotional way, probably you're not going to be happy. But if you react to a situation in a logical way, you might be happy. That's one of the things that have helped me to be happier, because I used to be very emotional. I used to react in a very emotional way. I would just react to my emotions. And obviously that caused problems, that caused me to be even more upset. So it didn't work. I wasn't happy, but I wasn't happy because of external things. It was because of how I was reacting to the external situations. If we react in the wrong way, we're never gonna be happy. So another question that I have for you is that what exactly makes you happy? Do you know what makes you happy? I didn't know what was making me happy or what would make me happy until I had to literally remember things that will make me happy. One of the things that makes me happy is talking to people, helping people, learning. That's what makes me happy. Like it helps me improve, and when you improve every day, no matter what it is, if you learn something, it takes you a few weeks to learn something, then you're learning, and that should make you happy because you're learning something new. So it doesn't have to be every single day. You can read a book for an entire month, and then until the last chapter, that's when you're gonna finally get it, and that's fine. That you don't have to push yourself. Like, that's one of the things that I had to learn during this entire journey of rediscovering myself. But the thing is, right now, that you need to ask yourself this question: am I happy? If you're happy, good. You can share it on the podcast. You can share it on the community. Tell us what makes you happy. If you're not happy, you need to find the reason why. What's stopping you from being happy? The answer is within you. The answer is not going to be outside. The answer is always going to be within you. That's something that I learned. And I know this sounds very difficult to understand. It took me a long time to understand that. Like, I was talking to my wife the other day how a long time ago, for some reason, I came across Tony Robbins and, like, kind of like the same people that I'm listening to, but I didn't understand the words that they were saying, so I didn't pay attention. So if you don't know what makes you happy, it's probably because you still don't know the word, or you still don't know how to express it. It's kind of like what happened to me. Like, I was explaining this particular story. Like, I came across all these people that I'm listening to, and I didn't understand. I was like, I don't understand any of those words, so I stopped. I didn't listen to them. Then I was able to find them again, and now I was like, okay, I don't understand those words. I'm gonna Google them. And then I was able to understand. For some reason, I have the hiccups. Sorry about that. But I was able to understand the words, and now I'm able to understand exactly what they're saying. And when I explain it to my wife in a different way in the situation, she's able to understand it as well. And that's what I'm trying to do for you, because I'm not gonna lie, I'll never lie about this, but I am very stubborn. And I thought I was happy because of the way that I was acting, because of the way that I was feeling. But in reality, I wasn't happy. I had to find my own happiness within myself. So that's why I want you to understand this. Like, if you're not happy, if you answer the question right now, and you say, "I'm not happy," what's stopping you from you not being happy? What do you need to do to be happy? And you might say, like, "Oh, I need $1,000,000. Money is not going to make you happy. Money is not going to make you happy, because here's the thing: you make the money. You make the money. The money doesn't make the person. The person makes the money." And that's something that a lot of people don't understand now, because now we just want material things. I was like that. I was broke because of thinking that way. Like, I had to buy the newest stuff. I had to have all this stuff. Like, you can have the newest car, but then the next year there's going to be a new version that's going to be even better. So what's going to happen? You're going to try to get the next car. So you'll never be happy if you use one money, if you use one material stuff. So what I realized, and this is something that you might understand, or you might have to realize at one point in your life, that what makes you happy is being healthy, taking care of yourself, pretty much doing self-love, and loving others. Like in this case, my wife, I love her. I like to talk to her every day. I like to be with her every day, because we have such a good communication, and she knows it. So that makes me happy, because anytime that we talk, now that I'm able to express myself a little bit better, what happens is that I find more about myself. Like, something triggers something, and then I have a memory, and then it's a good memory, and I'm like, I did have a good life. Or like the other day we were talking about food, because for some reason I like to ask for permission to get food. And I didn't know why, until she said, like, "Did you grow up poor?" And I was like, "No." And then she started asking me questions, and it turns out that yes, I grew up poor. The way that I grew up is that, for example, if we had candy, I had to eat it that same day, or the next day will be gone. Why? Because my mom or my brother will eat it while I wasn't looking. So it's like, you have to eat it at the when you have it, or you won't get it the next day, and who knows when you're gonna be able to get it. So I grew up poor, with food scarcity. So I'm scared of that. Now we talked. She's like, "Everything's gonna be fine. We have food," which we do. And now that I know that about me, I'm happy, because I'm like, okay, I know that my wife understands where I'm coming from now, and that makes me happy. Being understood makes me happy. Sometimes that's one of the things that happens, is that you're not happy because you feel like you're not understood. And that's why I created the podcast, and I created the community, because for a long time I felt misunderstood. Why? Because I didn't know how to explain myself. I didn't know how to tell how I was feeling. I didn't know about how to express my feelings. Now that I know, I'm actually happy, because I'm able to express it, I'm able to say it, and then I'm able to work through it. And that's I feel, because of my experience and what I see with other people and my wife, I feel like a lot of the issues with unhappiness is because we don't know exactly what we want. We don't know how to express ourselves. So obviously, if we're not able to express ourselves, we're going to be suppressed. And if we're suppressed, then that's going to create anxiety, that's going to create depression. That's one of the things that we need to understand. That's why you have to be yourself. If you're happy being yourself, great. You can give us any advice. You can post it on the community to tell us exactly how you How by being yourself you're happy? Because by being myself I'm happy. Like I don't have to expect anybody to like me. If you like me, good. If you don't like me, I don't care. Like I don't have any issues with that anymore. I don't care. Then that makes me happy because I can just be myself. Like I don't know if you have noticed, when I change the camera, when I get a different camera, maybe you might see it, but I wear every time on the podcast, I wear like superhero shirts, and I wear them outside, and people wear like, "Oh, you're too old." I don't care. My inner kid wants to wear it, and that makes me happy. So if you want to do something for yourself that makes you happy, just do it. Don't think about anybody else. If you say, "I want to be happy when I get healthy," okay, when do you think you're gonna get healthy? What are you doing to get healthy? And just going to the doctor doesn't count, because the doctor, like I have said in another episode, the doctor unfortunately doesn't have the time to really take care of you the way that you need to. So in this type of situations, if you're putting your happiness on being healthy and you're not doing anything towards it, like for example, researching the condition, seeing what helps, seeing what doesn't help, changing your nutrition to see if it helps. If you're not doing things just to try, then you're never going to be happy or healthy. So obviously that's going to make you sad. That's going to make you depressed. That's going to give you anxiety. So that's going to create a lot of bad feelings that we might not know how to handle. So that's another thing, is like, if you want to be happy, what are you willing to do for it? Or what can you do to be happy? Nothing that obviously breaks the bank, nothing that is going to put your life in danger, obviously, but what makes you happy. If you want to be a daredevil, if you still have the capacity, because not a lot of people do. I mean, we get scared. Like, I don't think I can ride a bike on top of the Grand Canyon, or to jump the Grand Canyon or something like that. So, but if you want to do something and you train for it and you can do it and it makes you happy, and you know that if something happens, in the end, you still be happy because you're doing what you loved, and do it. There's nothing wrong with that. Even if you're a spoonie, you can still do things that make you happy. Like, you might be in pain, but you can still write. Maybe you're a writer. You might be in pain, but you can still draw. You might be an artist. You can be in pain and still walk a little bit, just to see how you can do it. You know, there are things that you can do. You can tutor if that's what you like. You can help others if that's what you like. If you can, obviously, everything depends on your health as well. Don't push it. Just do it. Just do it a little. Just take your step. Just take one step at a time. Sorry. Just take one step at a time. Don't push it. Don't rush it. If you really want to be happy, you just need to ask, how can I be happy? What's stopping me from being happy? That's one of the things, because here's what happened to me when I was going through therapy and all of these things, and dealing with my wife and dealing with my PTSD. I said to myself, I need to be happy. In order for me to be able to handle all of this, I need to be happy. And I have become more and more happier every day, because I look back at my life, from where I come from, where I have survived, everything that I have gone through, and I survive, and it makes me happy, because I look back and I say, like, wow, I didn't know I was that strong, and that shows, and that proves that you can be strong as well. Like in my case, I showed and I have proven that I'm strong, even though I always thought I was weak because somebody else put that thought in my mind. Now I'm like, no, I am stronger than you think, and I'm stronger than I even believe. So I'm gonna keep pushing, and I'm always happy because I'm always learning. And even if you have a bad day, you're still gonna have a bad day. And we're gonna be talking about that in a different episode, because people have messaged me. I'm talking to somebody on Facebook about that, because. But just to give you a quick overview of even if you have a bad day, you just have to remember that you only have 24 hours. Once you go to bed and once you wake up, that's a new start. So you don't have to remember what happened the day before or the week before. You can just start all over and start happy from one and then move on to 100. Like that's pretty much how I do it, and that has worked for me. If it works for you, you can try it. If it doesn't work for you, you can try it a different way. As long as you try, that's pretty much the important thing. Just try it. It doesn't hurt just to be happy. If you want to be happy, sometimes you have to try things out of your comfort that are out of your comfort zone. You might think that you're happy because you're in your comfort zone. Unfortunately, that's not true. The comfort zone is what's keeping you stuck. So that's what I wanted to talk about on today's episode. If you want to send me the answer to the question, if you're happy, you can post it on Facebook. You can send me an email to thecaregiverandspoony@gmail.com. And also don't forget to share, like, subscribe. And thank you for all your support, all your emails. I like it. We're getting more and more listeners. So thank you for that. And I leave you like always. Always take care of yourself and have a good day.